Well, hey, welcome to DeCENTRAFIVE. My name is Jason Dukes, and this is the show where we try to take 5-ish minutes and walk through 10 questions with 0 edits. And our very special guest today is Ape Father. He's Bored Ape number 6056, founder of the Scimmia Family, kind of the first real crime family of NFTs. And Ape Father, it is so cool to have you on the show today.
Hey, it's an absolute pleasure. I love being on these interviews and chatting with people in the space. So let's have some fun.
I love it. Let's dive right in. So first question, aren't you some old slick back hair mafia godfather? I mean, that's what your Bored Ape is, right?
Right. I think when people found out that I wasn't, that old at first, I think it was a little surprising to some people. But no. I'm quite young. I'm in graduate school. I'm 24 years old. I do have Italian heritage in my family, so that's why I personally connected with that mob boss, kind of like crime mafia feel that I thought personally that my ape had. Some people like to tell me that he's just a zombie Steve Jobs, which I take offense to a little bit, but nonetheless, no. There's no slick back, balding action going on over here yet. Fingers crossed, knock on wood, right?
I love it.
But no, yeah, it's a little bit of a surprise, but I take it.
That's cool. And yeah, for those who are listening only and not seeing the visual on YouTube, if you go to YouTube, you'll easily be able to also see the look of the ape he's speaking of. So second question, Notre Dame fan since birth, Jesus himself signals a touchdown on the home field. What's your favorite Notre Dame memory?
My favorite Notre Dame memory by far was going to my first game with my father. We went and saw them play the Temple Owls, and Notre Dame won by just an absurd amount of points. But it was amazing. My dad was the one who kind of raised me to be a Notre Dame fan, so it was a kind of heartwarming experience to kind of share that with him.
I love it. I love it. So you're getting your doctorate, right, in physiotherapy. What drew you to that?
Yes, sir. So when I was a kid, like most people that kind of get drawn to physical therapy, it's a common story of kind of going through some trauma or some injury as a kid physically, then being exposed to the physical therapy field, and then kind of understanding, hey, this stuff really works. It's kind of a cool angle of medicine for people who like to stay active and fit. That's something that I've always liked to do. So when I dislocated my shoulder and tore my labrum playing baseball in high school and in middle school, wrestling even, I was in physical therapy a lot, broke my hand. So I got to get connected with these people, and, they were down to earth. It was just a little different approach than kind of like the white coat kind of aspect of being a physician. And I was like, man, this is kind of a different angle. I kind of like this. And so I went with it. I mean, ever since I've been about 13 years old, I wanted to be a PT. Now I'm, a third of the way done getting my doctorate, and hope to practice as long as I'm alive.
That's awesome, man. Good luck with that for sure.
Thank you.
So Bored Ape Yacht Club since day one, what made you hold it like you have?
Since the first day, I've really been in NFTs. I've been in crypto for a minute, but when I got into NFTs, the first thing you see is the CryptoPunks. I mean, by far, it was like the community you kind of look up to. A lot of these guys, like, me being 24, I'm trying to find a little bit of a role model in a space that was a new territory to me. And I see a lot of these people that own CryptoPunks. Some of them are docs, and they're wealthy millionaires. Maybe they're even billionaires that own CryptoPunks at this point. I kind of looked up to some of these people as super knowledgeable, and they would constantly call out things, and they would be like, oh, this is going to happen or that's going to happen, and it does happen. So you were like, oh, this is who you want to be. This is the club you want to be in. Obviously, I couldn't afford that when I first joined the club. So, what I told myself was, the next club that I think is the club, I'm just going to have the absolute conviction and confidence that every single CryptoPunk claimer had. And I'm going to ride with it until it is the next CryptoPunk. I'm literally going to hold this thing until it becomes, the next CryptoPunk, and maybe even beyond that. I literally told myself that from day one. And, it was what led me to have the crazy conviction to hold a lot of my apes to where we are now.
That's awesome. So along those same lines, right? 3 sentences here, if you can even boil it down to that. Okay. Why are Bored Apes so special?
First sentence, addiction to pop culture. I think not only the owners are addicted to pop culture, I think the founders are addicted to the idea of making Bored Apes pop culturally relevant. And I think pop culture has responded appropriately to prove that. Second, I don't know. I think it is the almost non-personification of an avatar. I think there has been a little bit of kind of grief with, maybe skin tones and male or female when it comes to, certain avatars and communities. And I think when the apes came out, it was kind of like this universalist approach to the CryptoPunk kind of culture, right? So everyone was like, I'm a girl, I don't care, I'll buy an ape. I'm a feminine male or I'm a masculine male. Everyone was able to find something that they kind of attached themselves with. And then lastly, a third sentence. Let's see. I think they embraced the degenerate side. I do think the apes came in as the dirty step kid. Like that's how we were looked at, right? When we pumped initially, the CryptoPunks kind of were, a little elite, kind of looking down on us a little bit. And I respected that, right? I understood that we were the underdogs. We were making a lot of noise. We were trying to knock down the crown. We were annoying a lot of people. I get that. And, some people definitely more annoying than others, probably me. But I think that we embraced that, started from the bottom. Like, we truly were this project that at 2 or 3E, everyone was saying was an absolute Ponzi scheme to sell it now. We're all idiots for being broke and not selling at this point. And here are many of us who didn't have a dollar to our name still holding, many of these at, 150 ETH floors, people offering $500,000 and whatnot. So here we are.
That's crazy, man. Crazy. So you started a subgroup, right? We mentioned it at the top of the show, the Scimmia Family. So just real briefly explain what that is.
Yeah. So basically, what we tried to do was we originally named this group the Ape Mafia, and basically what the Ape Mafia was the first kind of subculture community organization, whatever you want to call it, spinoff of the Bored Ape Yacht Club. When I made my ape, I kind of branded it as this mafia character, and a lot of people were like, "Man, how can I, joking, how can I be in your mafia? How can I be in the family? What job you got for me, boss?" And I'm like, "Dude, should we create an actual mafia? Like, are we going to do this?" So, at first it was a joke. It was just this lore. Everyone wanted to create a story, and they wanted to know where I was going to place them in the family. Like, I had to make all the decisions for this. So we made a Discord. Discord channel in the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And it was kind of like this side channel where we could go in there and we could have all our lore and community talks. We were the first one to do that. Many spun off of that. The Cheetah Gang, the Zombie Club, the Gold Apes, all these other ape spin-off clubs that have started, maybe because of us, but definitely after us, right? So we were the pioneers in that idea of using the branding of your ape to create a sub-organization. Going forward, we wanted to expand. We were the Bored Ape Yacht Club kind of kicked out the clubs a little bit. Just, they started to get the corporate involvement in the group, and it expanded so much that it was just ideal that all these sub-organizations separated, in actuality from the Discord and created their own. So we did that. We created these 500 of these almost free, membership cards made by me. It was, this crappy graphic, nonetheless. But then we were more people want to be in it than just apes. Everyone wanted to be a part of this fake crime family that we created. We really hadn't done much. We, a couple merch collabs and some items, but it was all about the lore and kind of this ominous secrecy of being part of this group. Everyone wanted to be in. It's how do I get in? I just want to be in to be in. I don't even care what happens. So we expanded to 7,500 members recently. We did it on Polygon to, kind of embrace the layer 2, ambitions of going carbon neutral with ETH, ambitions of lowering transaction costs. So I'm a big supporter of that. So that's why we went to Polygon. And then, here we are. We have 7,500 members at this point. Changed the name from Ape Mafia to the Scimmia Family, the original name of the family that owned the Ape Mafia, to kind of embrace everyone within the space, kind of understand that the apes made this organization, but it's for all the crime degenerates in the NFT space, kind of just having fun with the lore and going forward.
That's so fun, man. I dig it. So shift gears just a little bit. Elevator pitch on the Curators Society.
Okay. Yeah. So the shortest pitch I can give everyone is every single DAO in the NFT space is awesome. It's a really cool plan. I'm sure you can sell a bunch of people to it. But I can almost guarantee 99.9% of them are gone within 2 years, because as soon as SEC or any kind of institutional regulation comes into place, or when any of these DAOs becomes financially significant enough that the SEC needs to jump in, 99% of them aren't set up right to respond to these allegations. They're not going to have the proper framework and structure or the legal team in place to respond appropriately and say, no, we weren't profit sharing. No, we weren't doing this. We weren't acting on behalf of our investors. We don't have, yada, 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 whatever the claims may be. They're just not ready for it. I don't think people understand the professional network organization that needs to go into creating a DAO. It's not as simple as just loading up an app and being like, hey, let's all share this wallet. Let's all do fractionalization, because there are securities laws if you're in the United States and in many countries. So my biggest thing with the Curators Society is they're using the best crypto legal team in the world, Fenwick West, the legal team of Pixel Vault, and the Bored Ape Yacht Club. So there's some high caliber individuals to speak to that. They're using that to set up a DAO that may not look as sexy at first by, using words like profit sharing or revenue streams or things like that. But they're a DAO that will be here in 5 to 10 years, because they're thinking, how do we continue to be a DAO that's around 4 to 5 years from now, regardless of regulation coming in, right? And if you want to invest in blue chips long term, but maybe you can't afford full price, that is something that you look at. Something that's approaching it legally, right, responsible, and has a docs team full of individuals ready to execute on that idea.
That's solid, bro. That's solid. So what refuels you? What keeps you going? Because I loved your mind, your energy, your enthusiasm. But I know with everything you got going on, getting your doctorate right now, the other things coming up, in just life. What refuels you, and what really keeps you moving the way that you do?
I sometimes I ask myself that. I feel like every day you might have a different answer to that. Maybe some days it's fame and fortune for some people. Maybe some days it's cars, jewelry, and all the nonsense that we associate with. Maybe it's notability in the space, or creating a legend around your name. Honestly, for me, something that I always come back to is just my fiance, my close knit family to me, my mom, my sister. At the end of the day, all the stuff I have and buy that's extravagant is nice, but when it's all said and done, how much better can I make my family name kind of known and be something that stays around for a long time? How much can I make my fiance's life better? How much can I make my mom and my sister's life better? That is the passion that drives me, So at the end of the day, all of this is great, but for me, it's family over everything.
Very cool. That's solid. So what's the next NFT project that excites you?
The next NFT project that excites me. Well, this is super biased, but I got to say the other side, right? Because of, I'll be honest, I was bearish at first. I'm not a big fan of the metaverse. I'm not a big fan of the idea. I think that it's just kind of like social media personified into unnecessary formats, and the idea of owning land and all this. I just thought, I was like, it's just really expensive, shitty games with the idea of ownership attached to it. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was, I didn't think it was going to be anything great. I kind of went into a sell the hype mindset. And I saw these, I saw that they were partnering with Improbable. I saw that the format that they're trying to take to make sure that all legal laws and securities laws are being followed for this type of ownership, and that they're approaching it with these graphics and this gameplay that was beyond what I thought it was going to be, right? So, and I started thinking on the idea with, well, Yuga did create an 8-bit game on the PC a long time ago, for us to play as part of a week-long event. Then they created a mobile app game, and all of them were hits. They were a success. That in the short-term transient mindset that they were set up for. So I'm thinking to myself, wow, these, maybe this could be rather successful. Maybe if it's anyone in the space to do it, it is them. Maybe this does turn into you know, what I said would have to be the first successful metaverse, which would be a Fortnite equivalent game as far as like pop cultural relevancy is concerned, but attached to this blockchain kind of digital ownership mindset, right? That would have to be the first thing. And of course, as soon as this gameplay comes out, it looks just like Fortnite. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, here we go. They're going to do it. They're actually going to do it, aren't they? So I am excited for it. I don't know how much I'll be involved, you know, as far as playing the game. I hope they make something that is so fun that I actually want to play, right? I don't know if I desire to spend a ton of money into it, but if they can create something that's actually fun and I want to play it on a daily basis, there's going to be a change in the way we approach gaming.
So last question, who else should we invite onto DeCentrafy?
Let's see, man, there's a lot of good people in the space. I feel like that I could name. I think, I mean, this has been someone who I've been close with since day one. He's one of the most notable apes in the space. I got to meet him at my Chicago event. He's a little bit older than me. So honestly, someone as a trader that I look up to. I respect him. I respect his opinion and his positivity. I'll probably be Captain Trippy. I think, you know, if you know Captain Trippy, he's nothing but a stand-up guy. He is a profound individual outside of the space. You know, I know he's successful in businesses elsewhere as well. So, you know, when things happen or he makes moves and makes big moves, I usually message him and I'm like, hey, you know, give me the pitch. Why should I do this? You know, you seem, and 9 times out of 10, he makes the right call. So, you know, I'm more than humbled to say that there are people much better at trading in the space, and he's one of the ones I look up to the most.
That's super cool. I will definitely look into him further. And then if you're able to make the connection, that would be awesome. I'd love to.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
I'd love to have him on. Well, it is a joy, man, always to talk with you. We've gotten to do it now several times, and I'm thankful for the growing friendship. And you're just fun to be around. And you know, so it means the world to me that you take a few minutes of your day to be on this episode of DeCentrafivE, and so, man, appreciate it. I mean, I can't say thanks enough.
No, I appreciate you. I appreciate people that, you know, reach out and try to recognize any little thing that people are doing in the space. You know, I appreciate your comments when you say things like that, because I do try to be funny. I try to keep it upbeat. I try to stay energetic, and, you know, trolling on Twitter is the name of the game for me 9 times out of 10. So, you know, if it's making people happy and we're having fun, then, you know, we're doing it right.
That's good stuff, man. Well, I look forward to the next time we chat. And until then, I appreciate it. Hope you have a solid rest of your day.
Hey, you as well, my man. Thank you for having me on.